Hey Dustin, how does it feel to be in Louisiana since, you've lived here your whole life, but how does it feel to be in Louisiana for the 30th time this year?
Yeah, the MMA media absolutely freaking sucks. So if you guys watched the UFC 318 press conference, the MMA media is terrible. I already did a video on this for the last press conference, but we're going to do another one because that's how bad it is that I want to call it out every single time. And it's not just the MMA media, but the UFC itself are cutting these press conferences shorter and shorter and shorter to where this one, it felt like it was about 8 minutes. It might have been like 10, 15, but it really felt like it was like under that. I swear, it was the shortest press conference of all time. And I get it, there's not a lot of trash talkers up there, but maybe you should have put Marvin Vettori and Brendan Allen, two guys who can talk trash and who don't like each other. You would have thought they would put those guys up there, even though they're on the prelims for whatever reason. No, we got to have Patricio Pitbull, kid. We got to have old man, boring, little dwarf-looking Patricio Pitbull up there and boring Dan Ige, who's like the most awkward, shy guy I've ever seen. But let's actually kind of break down fighter by fighter. So we'll start with Paulo Costa. He was on cocaine. He was literally on cocaine. He was tweaking. He was like, yeah, I go to beat Roman Kapilov and then go to Mechechin, Hamza Chimaev. I go to, he's just like shaking and like looking around and tweaking out. He was coked up. Look, I do coke every once in a while as well. I'm kidding. Don't clip that. I'm kidding. But seriously, he was like off of something. I don't know if he was on Adderall, Percocets, Molly Percocets, mask off. I don't know what he was on, but it was insane to see him just shaking like that on the stage. And once again, he was calling out Hamzat Chimaev. He wanted to fight Hamzat, and Hamzat apparently DM'd his wife something about you better find a new husband. I don't know. Hamzat Chimaev gives me the vibes of somebody that just, I don't know. I think Hamza Chimaev's level of riz is like just staring at a girl creepily and smiling with his like rat lip. But nonetheless, though, he was apparently DMing Paulo's girl. So Paulo says, with the win like this, I'm gonna fight Hamza. And I like the fire from Paulo. All coke aside, I like the fire and the energy from Paulo Costa. He definitely seemed teed up. He definitely seemed like tense. But it was just, maybe that was just the drugs. I'm not sure, but he was hype, so it was what it was. Roman Kopylov, I mean, who cares about him? Michael Johnson and Zell Huber, they were going at it a little bit. Zell Huber's been talking a lot of crap in the build-up, so I thought it was kind of cool to see them actually have some moment of excitement up there, even though there was no follow-up questions to either guy. There was no, follow-up to the beef. It's like the MMA media. They saw something exciting was happening and they just decided to ignore it and ask fucking Roman Kopylov another generic question or Dustin Poirier another generic question. It was ridiculous. But again, I'm pretty excited for that fight, to be honest with you. That being Johnson and Zell Huber. Again, there's beef there, and I think stylistically it could be very fun. And it's the typical, old Unk versus the YN, the young guard versus the old guard. So I really love that fight. Dan Ige was asked about if he wins, what would it mean for Hawaii or something? Who cares? He's boring. He's more flat than a plate of piss. He's just so flat, it's not even funny. Dan Ige sucks. Patricio Pitbull was awful as well. Just no answers. So Patricio Pitbull, how are you gonna win? By winning. That's literally, I don't know if it's a language thing. He sucks. Patricio Pitbull has no fucking personality whatsoever. I'm rooting for Danny Gay. Danny space gay. I'm rooting for Danny Gay, though, all jokes aside. I don't care for Patricio Pitbull. I don't care that he was a former 3-time Bellator fucking bantamweight. I don't give a fuck. He sucks and he has no personality and he looks like a stretched out midget. Kevin Holland was not asked a lot. I was kind of expecting Kevin Holland to be asked more questions because this is his 4th fight this year, I think. He's on a crazy run. I'm trying to copy Kevin Holland's run by the amount of videos I'm doing, so make sure you guys like and sub if you've made it this far. But Kevin Holland is on a pretty crazy run right now, and I thought he was going to get a couple more questions, but he kind of sucks as well. He's not really... He has a very, awkward... I don't know, man. Kevin Holland's... He's, autistic. I truly think he's a bit autistic, because the way he acts sometimes when he's asked these questions is just... I don't know, he's gay. I don't know if he's gay or autistic or there's something wrong with Kevin Holland. But Daniel Rodriguez also sucks. He was asked a question about How is he going to beat Kevin Holland or some generic shit? Yeah, Kevin Holland, he's on a 2-fight winning streak, and how are you going to beat him? Just like, what are we doing here, man? The MMA media fucking sucks. Like, I get it. It's Daniel Rodriguez. There's not a lot to work with there. He looks like a freaking Mexican unk that just got out of prison, right? Maybe ask him that. Hey, D-Rod, are you scared that ICE might storm into the cage? Or, like, ask him. Let's spice it up a little bit. And then finally, Dustin Poirier, he wasn't asked much. Like, he was just asked, like, I don't know, what is it like to be back in Louisiana, as if he doesn't live there. He's just like, oh, what's it like to be in Louisiana? How have Louisiana been treating you? He lives there. He lives there. So, I don't know. They didn't really ask a lot to a guy who's literally, that's his last ever press conference. You'll never be able to ask him a question ever again. And maybe the last time you see this guy ever again. Who knows? He might just go into hibernation like Stipe did. But they just decide to ask him boring questions. Max Holloway, he was just saying how we're going to find out Saturday night and I'm going to play spoiler, I'm going to play spoiler. He's going to play the spoiler. He's been saying that a lot, that he wants to be booed, and they were playing along a little bit. I don't know. I mean, Max Holloway, I do think he's going to win, but him kind of embracing the villain role is kind of interesting because, I mean, they're probably going to boo him anyways. They're in Louisiana. It's in enemy territory. It's Dustin's last dance. I'm going to be rooting for Dustin Poirier to fucking flatline Max. I love Max Holloway, but I love Dustin Poirier a little bit more, and this is his last dance. So, again, just even in me saying that, this is Dustin Poirier's last ever dance, and this just felt like the most unceremonious press conference ever. The questions were boring. Dana got asked, like, yeah, Dana, what's your favorite moment from Dustin's career? What do you think he's going to say? Oh, I love all of them. I love all the moments. Next question. Dana White is checked out. He's checked out. Please stop asking him questions. He's checked out. He doesn't care about the sport. And I didn't even mention this. Oh my God, I forgot to mention this. But at the beginning of the video or whatever, when you're on the live stream waiting for the press conference to start, they play these ads for Power Slap, for boxing. They do more promotion for other promotions than their own. Like, I don't ever see boxing promote MMA in UFC ever. I don't watch like Shakur Stevenson versus who I don't know who he fought last, right? I don't watch his fights, and then next thing you know, in the middle of the round, there's a commercial for UFC 3. You never see that. They don't promote the UFC the same way the UFC promotes them. I understand they're really only promoting one fight, that being Canelo Crawford. I get it's a big fight. But you don't think that fight, that fight doesn't need the UFC's machine to promote it. That fight doesn't need the official UFC account to tweet about it and to post it on Instagram and to smack it in the middle of the UFC website like I've seen recently. I don't get this, but that's it. The UFC 318 press conference sucked. It was Dustin Poirier's last dance. The face-offs were what they were. They were just normal face-offs. Not much to go off of. Dustin Poirier played... I'm spitting everywhere. Dustin Poirier played rock, paper, scissors with some random fan. I wouldn't be shocked if it was a media member trying to get buddy-buddy with Dustin, because they're all just gay for these fighters, it seems. But that's all I got for you guys today. Again, another stinky press conference from the stinky, fat media members. Look, I got nothing against people who are heavier, but if you're going to be heavy, at least... Shit, I'm trying to think of something to say. Offer something to the world. At least, right? At least offer something to the world. That's what I'll say. I was going to say something much more cruel, but, we're trying to be PG now, guys, all right? We're trying to get that DraftKings sponsorship. We're trying to get that Gatorade sponsorship. All jokes aside, though, make sure you guys like and sub. Become a member in the description. And I don't know what else to say. Peace.